Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another My Bourbon Journey Tuesday night live stream. Super excited. Missed last week, had some stuff going on, but knew I was going to be kind of back at it again this week. A lot of stuff, obviously, kind of going on, and as you can see right here in front, got this bad boy kind of dropped at the door today. So figured, what better time than tonight to kind of crack this open. Now, admittedly, I will say this about the Old Fitz decanter bottles. I've only purchased one, and I've had a couple of samples of others, but it's been some time. So I'm kind of going into this tonight a little like unjaded, so to speak. I don't have a lot of experience with that particular lineup, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how that all shakes out. So, and then one other thing, tonight's giveaway, I just kind of pinned it in there, was I figured since we're going to be later on in the stream, we're going to be doing a blind, a basically barrel proof blind. I've got a lot of our M&J stuff, might actually be all of our M&J stuff, but I wanted to go head to head. I don't do it very often where I'm putting a lot of, I'll say, our picks or just barrel proof bourbons in general kind of in blind. So I figured I would go with a few of our most recent ones and just kind of see how they all kind of stack up against each other. They're all going to have very, very different profiles, but I think it'll be very interesting. So we'll see. So anyway, tonight's giveaway is a 200, this bad boy right here, 200 ml. This was actually our sample that we pulled directly from the barrel. Still actually has barrel chars, or a barrel char in the bottom. I don't know, you might be able to see that a little bit. Maybe that's a little bit better. It's a little dark on there, but I figured I had that thing sitting around, and I know a lot of people have wanted to try it. So what better time than to send that off to somebody who really wants to enjoy that. So this single barrel got a lot of hype. The Jorge T. Swag Green River barrel strength bourbon. Actually, it's basically entry proof. This came in at 125, was slightly less when we actually did the pick, but it did increase in proof. So I did get up to the 125 mark. So that was kind of cool. So anyway, so yeah, I wanted to kind of split this up tonight, and we'll get into a little bit of the newest from Heaven Hill, their Old Fitzgerald 10-year bottled in bond, and we'll kind of go through some of that. I've got a little bit of the literature that they sent to me with some of that stuff. So we'll get into this. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a pre-tasting before I kind of sit down and actually do the actual lie or the actual review. So I wanted to kind of just dive into this. This will be kind of a little bit of a test dummy kind of process tonight. So it'll be a lot of fun. And again, like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with the Old Fitz lineup. So again, there's nothing for me really. It's been some time since I had the 2016, which is back there again, not really going to compare. So trying to do this side by side really isn't going to do much. So, but let me say hi to a few people that were in here right away. Top Dog Johnny, good to see you, buddy. TK, good to see you, bud. Appreciate you jumping in. I know you're probably out in the fields taking care of some stuff. Mr. Jankovic, how you doing, buddy? What else we got? Mr. Polly P, who is also doing his own, I believe, M&J flight tonight, is head to head. So I'll be interested to see what he's got. And Polly, if you want, go ahead and just kind of post what you've got shaken. Let other people kind of know what you've got going on there as well. So, Mr. Cornate, good to see you, Timmy. Mr. Roger Reese, good to see you, bud. Mr. JG, whiskey cheers to you, brother. Mr. Mark Schwartz, the non-better half of the Schwartzes, but still good dude. Good to see you, Mark. JG, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You are in it to win it. I'll get you in there. I'll spin the wheel of death later on tonight, so I'll add your name here in a couple of seconds. What else we got? Mr. James Lake, good to see you, bud. Hopefully things are going pretty well for you down there in the little state of Georgia. Johnny coming in hot with a $10 super chat. I'm in. I tried a sample of your Green River last Thursday. Oh, all right. So I'm assuming, based on you wanting in, I'm assuming you liked it. So appreciate that. It's in my opinion. Again, I'm a bit biased, but it's probably been the darkest, richest of the Green River bourbons that I've had. And Mark Schwartz, who's in here, was one of the ones that introduced me to basically the first single barrel. And this is going back, I think, maybe to last summer when we were at our event at Sagamore, and he brought some, and it was just, I was surprised. I was blown away, needless to say. So thanks, John. Appreciate the super chat. JG, same thing as well. What else we got? Dano, good to see you. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Going to be down in Columbus, Ohio, down with Jason, and we'll be doing a couple of picks locally. So, Mr. Perkins, good to see you, buddy. Sven, good to see you, bud. Happy you're joining in. Who else we got here? Mr. Walton, good to see you. Not sure if you're in Indy or if you're in Ohio tonight, but thank you for stopping in. So here Paul is, he's got his blind going right there. So another good one. So what else we got here? TCT, good to see you. Evening to you as well, bud. Stacy, good to see you. 4 Leaf Whiskey. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Great Irish whiskey content, among some other things. So thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Let me do this. Let me add, if you guys see me looking like I'm busy for a second, that is because I am adding names to the stream. So I don't want to forget that. So let me put that in real quick and we'll get going here. So Jay gets 1, Top Dog gets 2. All right, so you guys are in it to win it. So thank you again for participating. So yeah, so needless to say, let me throw this up before I get going with the Old Fitz review. So like I try to do with a lot of the lives, to give you guys a couple of minutes. If there's things you purchased, stuff you want to chat about, I'd like to give you guys a few minutes of each stream just to kind of go over a few things or ask questions or anything along those lines. So whatever you've got, hit me with your best shot. What do you got, James? That solosis. Yeah, I'll tell you what. We are. Well, it's kind of a bummer that you missed it. We understand reasons why, but like when we were there, again, I think I appreciated it more after the fact. I think by that point, I mean, we had so much whiskey that I probably wasn't even thinking straight, which it was kind of crazy, but it was a heck of a day, and I'm glad we ended up selecting that barrel. I mean, there weren't many, and they didn't want to. Wit was awesome enough to give us that barrel. And we were now obviously going back through and understanding what that is. Now that I've had some time to really spend some time with it, it's an absolutely incredible bourbon. And again, it's a lot of that kind of cherry pastry, tobacco, very viscous, very kind of rich and oily and all that. So really, really glad we ended up landing on the which will be in the blind tonight. So that'll be kind of fun. So let's see here. Aloha, MJ. Aloha, still tuning in. It's got to be noon or so there in Hawaii. Actually, I don't know what time it is, but it's still got to be pretty early. But aloha to you as well. Yep, I saw that. Hopefully, I'll be getting a bottle here coming pretty soon to get that review done. So I'm excited for that. I think it's a great proof. Like if they're going to go in, I don't think it's going to be, they're calling it foolproof, but I think they're, again, that's just their classification of that. I believe this one's like 117 point something or other, but I'll have to double check that and see exactly what the proof came in for that one. So, and again, the foolproof designation can be higher. I mean, it can go in at 125 and it can come out lower. So that's just exactly how that works. So, all right, Paulie, what do you got? Better odds? State lottery. Yeah, it probably will be. Let me get you added there before I forget. So, all right, I think I got you in there. So appreciate it. What else we got here? Let's read some chats here. We got another Green River. All right, Top Dog, what do you got? We got another Green River pick on July 9th. I think Jason was able to try Renee's Green River pick this weekend. Yeah, if it sounded like there were a lot of things that were down there. I don't know if were you guys able to join Ethan and Katie? I wasn't sure if you were able to make it or not, but sounds like a lot of people had some pretty awesome pours and stuff, which would not surprise me if you guys were either there or were sharing some more great stuff. So let's see. Yep, the Kings County did sell out. Didn't even take I don't think a day. So we didn't have that many bottles. I think it was around 100 or something like that, which we knew they were kind of already pre-allocated a little bit. So what else you got? Benny, good to see you, buddy. What else we got here? Mr. Cornet is in it to win. I'll take that. Good luck to you, brother. Good luck to you. Let me add you to the wheel of death here, and we'll get you in there. So, all right, I think I got you in there. Yeah, it would have been nice to have made it to down there with Ethan and Katie and everybody. There's the Waxer. Speaking of people that were down there this week, looked like you guys were having a heck of a time. So was kind of a little bit jealous. So there's Katie. Speaking of the devil, good to see you, Katie. The better half of the Turks. All right. Except, yeah, I'll do $4.99. That's fine. There's a little bit of a scale I'll work on. So it's my first ever. I can't do $5. Yeah, CJ, that's fine. No worries, brother. What else we got? Try to catch up, and then we'll kind of dive into the Old Fitz stuff here real quick. Mr. Ritter, good to see you, buddy. My daughter says hello. You might need to oh, maybe I do need a shade. You can barely even see it these days, but I get it. So takes after a dad, clearly on the ball busting, that's for sure. What else we got here? It's an Apple thing. Yeah, must be. Well, look at this. Katie Turk coming in hot with a $19.99 super chat. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Let me get you added to the wheel of death here real quick. Get you on there 4 times. I'm looking forward to getting into the Old Fitz just because I don't have a lot of experience with it. I've not sat down with them. I've not had a lot of those bottles. So I'm excited to kind of get into that. So thank you, Katie. Appreciate that very much. It is. I'm a little bit biased, but I'll agree with you 100%. Thank you again. What else we got here? Yeah, it was interesting. We'll leave it at that, Dano. So for those who know. So I'll just trade you a 13th colony cast strength for the Jorge. That's all the rest. All right, CJ. All right. I wish I had more to even or are you talking samples? Yeah. If I've got the cask. I'm working on getting the review done for the latest 13 colony cask strength bourbon, which I'm excited for, knowing after kind of sitting down with it. So pretty excited about that. So let me get you added on there, CJ. All right. Looks like this thing is moving really fast. It's that way it goes when you're operating a one man show. That's how it goes. You got to do double duty. So, all right, Mr. Perkins, what do you got? Miss out on the Hardy, so fingers crossed. All right, yeah. I mean, there weren't a lot of them. I mean, I can see why. I mean, with it being so hot down there, we didn't have very many bottles at all. I'm gonna say 125, 130, something along those lines. You know what? I also have. I have half a one. Now, here's what I'll do. I mean, I don't need it. So I've got another 200 ml with about half. What I'll do is, just to make it even or give somebody else a little something, I'll throw the other one into somebody else if that's okay. So, so I'll give away two of them. So it's basically 300 mLs total, a 200 and a 100. It's in one of these, but it's about half. And I must have sampled it out or something along those lines. So, but I'll do two name drawings tonight. So unfortunately, someone's going to get 200 mLs and somebody else is going to get 100 mLs, but still it's a nice one to have. So I'll throw that one in there as a second one as well. So, all right, let me get caught up here, and I'll what else we got? All right, I got CJ on there already, and then we'll dive into the Old Fitz thing. So, all right. I don't know any other way of doing this most efficiently, so just the way it's going to have to be. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and bearing with me here. Mr. Ritter. No, it does not. So let me get you added in there to the wheel of death, and then we'll get into this. I keep saying that, but this is how it goes, and it's gonna be like a 4-hour live tonight. I have a feeling it can't be, because we're gonna be doing the Patreon only live following this. So, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ritter, Mr. Perkins, Mr. Miller. Thank you very much. Mr. Walton coming in. I'll get in on the swag. All right. Let me get you on there. All right. And then we'll dive into, maybe you guys will give me a break for a second. All right. So we got the names. All right, I think I've got that in there. All right, I think we're all caught up. So I'll take the half. Yeah, I mean, I think somebody probably will want a full one or whatever it may be. But what do you got, Paul Scott? Just a content idea. I know these picks are all your kids, but you wouldn't need to keep a running ranking of all M&J picks and slowly, but yeah, it's probably something that I need to do more of. It's just one of those things where, man, we do so many of these things and they're coming in and we're working on the next thing that they get neglected. Honestly, there are times where I do the pick, I taste them one day and I may not go back to them for a significant amount of time. So it's just one of those things where I wish I had more time. And this is maybe 5 of our more recent ones. So. What do we got? Jason Booker's battle and your guys' NBC was top 3. Was that batch released already? They're coming. That was already released, and that's right here. So we'll see where that ranks. So I'll say this for the M&Jers out there, the M&J Army. Little bit of a tease. There may or may not be something coming that you that you don't know of quite yet, and it could be very soon. So I'll leave it at that. You guys can guess as to what that may be. So Wheel of Him. Yeah, I could do it. I'm just trying to see. The one I've got is I don't know if it was yeah, everyone's got their name in there, but it doesn't look like I can. It doesn't look like I can shuffle. Doesn't look like I can shuffle that one, but doesn't really matter. I mean, your names are your names. It's all random anyway. So, and we see Shock Chop. I don't know. Starlight maybe teasing us. I hope you're. We talked to maybe not. There's a lot of things going on with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. That is for sure. So all of you could be right. All of you could be wrong. So someone may be right, but more of you are going to be wrong. So hopefully I just added a little bit to the confusion on that. So, all right, let's do this. Appreciate everybody for joining. Let me ask you guys this. Jason and I were kind of chatting a little bit before, and this is kind of an interesting kind of thought with the Old Fitz decanter bottles is with it being still in price wise 139, basically 140 bucks with the decanter bottle, 100 proof bottle and bond, does because it comes in that decanter style bottle make it okay to you guys to spend that kind of money on a 100 proof bottle and bond? Because my argument was, obviously we all want to drink the best possible whiskey we can. But if it came in something like a Parker's Heritage and it was 100 proof, 10 years old, would you still think the same way? So while you kind of ponder that, I'm going to dive into this and see kind of what we've got. So again, a little bit of the specs. Let me pull this up here real quick. So here exactly is what this year's spring of 2024 release is. So I don't think there's anything there that's surprising at all to anybody. But those are the specs that came in the little Heaven Hill pamphlet. So I mean, again, it may be overall the best bottle in whiskey, and rightfully so. Again, it's one of those things where fancy bottles oftentimes will sell things. But again, I think people also have to make sure that what it is they're getting, they're happy. I think, it still boils down to if you have a fancy glass and the bourbon or whatever it may be within that doesn't meet your expectations, I think you get a little bit kind of bummed from that standpoint. So yeah, it's always one of those things. So fancy bottle doesn't make me want to spend more money. Yeah, so that's one of those things. Glass decanter, not crystal, doesn't get me excited. Don't even think Woodford decanter get me excited. Yeah, all right, I can appreciate that. It's probably the best bottle design in bourbon, but it's nice to have. I couldn't do without. Yeah, I could do it. All right, so I think the bottle I won once. It great centerpiece. All right, I can read through what that is. So again, it is one of those things where it's a beautiful bottle. I mean, even once you finish it off, it's an incredible bottle. So the bottle makes it. If it was just another regular shaped bottle on the shelf, it would be a Henry McKenna. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get any argument from me. So I think some of these have been fantastic in the past, like that 16-year I got. I must say maybe 3 years ago now at the distillery when we were doing our Elijah Craig barrel proof pick. I was fortunate enough to be able to buy one of those there. So that's the only one that I've ever purchased. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into officially 24 minutes into the live, and I'm just getting into this now. So, all right, here we go. Boy, so rich. I mean, for me, lots of fruit, lots of that kind of nice, refined kind of black cherry. Nice oak. Again, I'm going to say that sweet, maybe more like Rick House kind of oak. And again, with those ages, I think it's becoming something that Heaven Hills is a little bit more known for, is having that really nice Rick House oak kind of presence to it. Definitely lets you know there's a weeder. There's a slight sharpness to it. Now, I have had this open for about, oh man, now it's probably close to about 5 minutes before we went live. So yeah, about 30 minutes it's been in the glass. So yeah, it definitely lets you know there's a weeder, that it's a weeder. Great baking spice. I think there's a lot of spice, and maybe, I don't want to say ethanol, but there's enough spice coming off of this to give the impression of it being more than 100 proof. So oftentimes that spice that's there can kind of trick you into thinking higher proof, and it's definitely doing that. Maybe a little hint of butterscotch. There's a slight kind of, I guess I'll say this nuttiness that's there, but I wouldn't say it's kind of like a typical Heaven Hill. It's not that like peanutty. It just smells like it's got this like little like nuttiness, more of a, I'm gonna say like a cashew, something that's not like a real intense kind of nut, something like that. All right, we'll go back. I'll go back and kind of nose it a little bit once I kind of taste it. But cheers, guys! Thanks everybody for jumping in tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for the super chats. I think it's going to be like internet. We're supposed to have bad storms in our area. Plus, I've got shitty internet. So hopefully it comes back. Yeah, it'll pop in. Hopefully it recorrects. Hopefully I'm not still frozen, but looks like it's come back on. Looks like I've got it stronger. Here, as soon as Roy came in, I started having internet problems. It's our internet service. Admittedly, it's not the greatest. JG, I forgot to pay the AOL dial-up bill. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a nice, I think, representation of an slightly older wheated bourbon. It's got a really long finish for 100 proof. It is very oily. The finish feels nice and long. Again, there's this lingering spice and honey. There are two things that continue to linger for me. There is that fruit note, more of like kind of a cherry, little bit of like kind of a cake frosting note that's there. Still lets you know there's a little bit of that like wheat presence that's there. And again, you're not going to, what do they have as their what's their wheat mash bill? I don't know if they said or not on here. Yeah, it doesn't say exactly. I'm sure one of you guys know, but yeah, it's soft, floral, honey. There's these soft notes that are there. And I think this is one of the things that people appreciate about a really nice wheated bourbon is you get these kind of rich notes, but without all of that alcohol. And again, I think potentially this bourbon at 100 proof is maybe better than what it could be at or around cask strength. I'm only saying that because oftentimes for me, wheated bourbons at higher proofs have this really off-putting kind of profile. It becomes very like wheat dominant, and it's not something that I appreciate. And again, I don't know if that happens to any of you, but it's just one of those things where I like this way more, I believe, at 100 proof. Now, again, I know the argument would be probably like the larceny barrel proofs. And admittedly, those have continued to get better and better throughout their releases. So, you know, maybe that's a little bit different. I don't know if the larceny barrel proof and the Old Fitz are the same mash bill or not. You guys can let me know. You can let me know whether or not that's the case or not. And if it is, maybe I kind of take that back, because some of the more recent larceny barrel proofs I've really enjoyed. A lot more of those summer fruits, strawberries, raspberry on a lot of the larceny. This is, as the Old Fitz goes, way more kind of cherry, kind of little, maybe even like a cherry cobbler, if we're going to introduce kind of pastry notes, but really nice kind of like honey, great oak, great spice, things along those lines. Man, it's soft and velvety. Great spice. I think this is going to go down as a really nice release. Super easy to drink. It drinks like how a more cask strength whiskey would drink. It's very kind of oily, nice long finish, incredible spice, incredible oak, that sweet, rich oak. Boy, I'll tell you what. If you can, I'll say this right away, at 139 bucks, I'm going to say in today's day and age, I think this is 100% worth that price. Now, again, I don't know how many people can find it for that. You know, I don't mess around that much with the secondary market, but, and I don't know what this would be on the secondary, but boy, I'll tell you, it's really, really pretty nice. So I think with those kind of notes that it's giving, and as kind of rich and complex as it is, I think for that 140 bucks, I think it offers as much of a value as you can have within this category. You get that great bottle, and I think they followed it up with a really nice whiskey. So I'll probably over the next day or two start diving into sitting down with it a little bit more to get more kind of tasting notes, and then put my video together on that. I think you guys will find the video that I'm releasing tomorrow to be a little bit interesting. It's a little bit different than what I've done before, but I think you guys will. I think a lot of people will be able to relate. I'll say that. So I'll leave it at that. All right, what do you got here? I really love Weeders. Was stoked you guys picked one at ASW. Yeah, I mean, we're always trying to find the best possible things that we can. So we've got some really interesting things coming up. And again, if you're a patron, Jason and I will be doing the Patreon only live following this, probably between 9, or let's see, what time would that be? Probably 8:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern, something along those lines. Maybe a little bit earlier, depending on if I can be done with the blind. So anyway, my, I guess, final thoughts on the Old Fitz 10 Spring 2024 release is based on what I've tried right now. And again, just the sample bottle, I feel that just at this point alone, it is worth that $140 price point. I really, really enjoy what this bourbon has to offer. And I think a lot of people will. If you're someone that just doesn't like Weeders, I get it. You know, maybe it's not your thing, but this has a lot going on for it. So, or going on with it, that I think it's going to really hit really well for a lot of people. And again, this is just off of a sample. that I've received, you know, earlier this afternoon, and it's only again been open for, you know, at this point maybe 35 40 minutes, but I think it's a really really nice bourbon, guys. So anyway, all right, let's do this. Let's dive into, I'm going to try to get through the blind tonight. So let me change that, and we'll get back to this one right here. So if anybody is interested in a 200 ml and a 100 ml of the Green River Jorge T Swag, which is the infamous bottle right here. So you can see how dark it was. Basically ended up being a absolutely incredible bourbon. So hopefully somebody who wins tonight maybe is someone who hasn't tried the thing yet. So anyway, all right, so let's get into this. All right, so here's the deal. So as you guys can see, let me get rid of this stuff here. So I've got a key over here. The wife poured all of these things blind for me. So all I know is this is glass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have different kind of logos on them. So I will indicate tonight, you know, basically the order 1 through 5 of which one that I guess I prefer, like, overall. So let me take, let's kind of jot down a few things here. I'm going through all our barrel pick stuff that I see right here for my note taking, and there's a lot of there's a lot of good ones, that we've done, that we've got coming, all kinds of good things. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into this and see what we've got. And by all means, so here is a small list. If anybody has remotely anything close to this at home, do it along with me. I would love to see exactly how it kind of shakes out for you guys. So Nashville Barrel Company, that was our basically cast strength bookers that we did with them. We've got the Ghost Barrel, which was a very small amount of bottles. We were fortunate enough to get that bottle after about 64 years of waiting. The Jorge T Swag, our Green River cast strength or 125 proof bourbon. The Fiddler from ASW. This is the soloist that we just released. What was it? Whatever that was, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then also in here, we've got our Art of the Spirits, which I believe, actually, I don't know if there's any of the double oak or not left, but this was the Art of the Spirits double oak. And Richard and his team over there are doing some pretty incredible things. So that's the blind tonight. So what you guys see there is somewhere in here. Again, the wife poured it. I don't know what order, but let's go ahead and dive into this. But before I do, let me put this here so I can just monitor that. All right, what do we got here, Paul? I just take my glass off while watching him. It looks like through frosted glass. He's nice. See, maybe been drinking a little bit too much. So hopefully everything looks and sounds okay at this point. So I can't do anything about this, but video wise, hopefully you guys are good. So what's my, Dano already wants to know my projected ranking. Let me get into these things first before I start giving him my projections. You know, the thing is, they're so all over the board. This is a very, very interesting blind. And again, doing all of these things could be difficult to try to pick and choose. There's a couple of them that have probably standout kind of profiles, but I don't know. I've said that before and have kind of embarrassed myself. But all right, so you want me to give you a pre-ranking of how I think they're going to finish. Boy, that is, I almost don't want to do it. I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself somehow. It never ends up working out the way I think it's going to. But let me just get into it. Dano, and I'll see what we've got. So, all right, let's get into glass numero uno. See what we've got here. So thanks, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody joining tonight. Oh, that's kind of interesting. If I mute it for a second, it's because I got to breathe. Boy, it's kind of heavy, kind of cherry notes. There's a little bit of a different kind of note to it. It's making me feel soloist because there's a really heavy kind of cherry note, but there's a little bit of that kind of note that you kind of get from that like kind of pot still distillation. That's what it's kind of reminding me of. So yeah, I think I'm just going to nose it, taste it. It's just the easier way for me to do it. So. Yeah, I'm gonna say I think glass one I believe is the soloist, I think. So I'll put number one. I'm gonna say soloist. I've got the key over here that my wife did for me earlier. So I mean, man, it is whatever that is. I mean, it's a beautiful texture, richness, cherry tobacco. Love it, whatever that is. A little bit interesting. Yeah, it's hard coming off of that because it is such a big, bold. Let me take a little sip of water here on that. Man, that is a big, whatever glass one is, that is a big profile right there. Yeah, it's tough right now. Now my wife came back in and stole the key from me. She forgot what she did. Oh, that's a nice nose too. Again, a little bit more kind of rich, kind of cherry, tobacco, nice oak. More vanilla on this one. Man, now I'm not sure. Now that reminds me more of the soloist. I wonder if the first one is our Jorge T swag with that cherry note that was there. Yeah, that could very well be. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say, well, yeah, for sure. Boy, that's all right. I'm gonna say Green River is number one. Man, that's crazy. If that's a lot of cherry and tobacco. I'll tell you that. I think two is so far a soloist. Yeah, that has more of that profile that I remember. So, all right, I see somebody just had a new son. I think that was maybe Jeffrey. If so, congrats, bud. That's awesome. 5.5 months. That's still new enough. So congrats, bud. Yeah, I mean that's probably what this is. The more I could probably spend with that one, definitely had those coffee notes for sure. I think that was one of the things I was getting quite a bit of. It was really a heavy, rich espresso note. Yeah, definitely soloist, coffee bean, espresso, cherry pipe tobacco, nice vanilla note, super velvety. And I thought the first one might have been a soloist, but one thing that was standing out to me was that cherry note. But I think that was the Green River. I think since I've had that, a lot of that cherry note started to really kind of come out in that. Not something I've ever had like that in a Green River, and it'll be interesting to see what this is in comparison to their new kind of foolproof one, just to see. But man, both Both fantastic so far. They're in the top two. Let's say that so far. So, all right, let's move on to number three. All right, what do we got here? Boy, man, I wonder if like cherry is becoming something that's one of our things that we're finding because I'm getting a lot of it so far tonight. There's this really rich berry note, beautiful oak, incredible spice on the nose. More of like a rich kind of chocolate or a powdered chocolate note. Really, really nice. Maybe a little bit of like a kind of a campfire. I don't know if there's more marshmallow, maybe some graham cracker, nice baking spices. Yeah, really beautiful nose on this one so far. And that's the thing, as you kind of spend time with these, you start to pull out those. That's why I'll typically never do a pick of just or a review of cracking a bottle and then trying to figure that out at that point. Like I want that thing to get a little bit of air, spend some time with it. I think it's the only way to do kind of true justice for reviewing a bottle is just allowing that thing to open up and kind of get some air. All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers, guys. Maybe based on the profile, maybe the art of the spirits, maybe that double oak. Could be that. I was gonna see what was the proof on this one. 115.2. That's kind of the first one where a lot of the chocolate's kind of standing out to me on this one. So, geez, Paul, you're already done with yours? My goodness, you're racing through these things. Actually, you've probably been you've probably been doing them. Yeah, cheers, buddy. That time will go by quick. Now, I didn't have any kids, but man, our time with our dog of almost 16 years flew right by. So if it's anything similar, then yeah, man, cherish it as long as you can. That's for darn sure. Yeah, I'm gonna say like so far, just kind of tasting, and if I need to change it, I'm gonna say that's maybe the art of the spirits. Double oak. I don't know if that is or not, but we're gonna find out. I'm sure my wife's probably back there laughing at me at this point. I started at 6 Central. All right, not too bad then. What time is it? 8. All right, so 2 hours. You got about a hour and 50-minute head start on me. So, not getting a ton out of this one yet. Now this one I'm getting a little bit of like a it's like a little bit of like a burnt toast kind of note. That's different. Almost coming across a little bit as the our ghost barrel kind of. Yeah, beautiful baking spices. Again, more of that kind of chocolate. There's just that richness. I mean, all of these have, I'll say everything at least that I look for in a lot of the whiskeys. Now, obviously, it's a lot of what both Jason and I and anybody who's participating is helping us with. But again, it's hard to get away from these profiles because of that richness. And that's just the way it goes. But man, another fantastic nose. All right, let's give this one a try. Mm. That's got a little proof behind it. Great spice to it. Nice vanillas. Man, lingering spice. That is maybe the most spicy so far. Boy, that thing is spicy. I don't know if that's this or not. What did our proof come in at on this one? 117. It could be. And that's still higher proof, but again, more fruit notes. A little more oak. This one is a little more drying, I'll say, in comparison to some of the others. Yeah, definitely more of that kind of like leather, tobacco, things along those lines. It's definitely in that kind of like richer kind of camp, but long finish. Again, more of those kind of cherry notes. You know, a lot of this, the more I say all of these, they have something very, very similar in common. The more I'm sipping on that, I'm kind of wondering if that's maybe the natural barrel. I want to know what 5 is before I list 4. I want to taste through that before, just to see if I have any idea. So, all right, got a couple more guys in for the Green River. All right, Terrence. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate you entering tonight's giveaway. So let me add your name to that. Oops. All right, what else we got here? So, cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mr. Wade Ward coming in hot and heavy with for Green River, please. Well, you are in it to win it. Let me add you there real quick. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, I'm just gonna put Wade. I already know what it is. All right, we're good to go there. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. You know, that's a good question. I don't know, Paul, like why we ended up not doing a sticker for that one. I mean, I know we've done them in the past, and I don't know if we just kind of ran out of time. I know Jason has a lot on his plate, kind of designing a lot of the stickers or whatever. But that's a good question. I don't actually have an answer for you, but I wish I did. So, all right, let me move on to number 5, and we'll see what we've got. I think that's definitely so. I think number 4, if I said it before, I think number 4 is our Ghost Barrel. I hope I'm not messing this up. If I am, that's slightly embarrassing. And I think 5 is going to be the NBC. The tough part is going to be ranking these things because obviously I love them. I love them all. But it's going to be very interesting to see how these things rank. Let me go back through them here real quick with some sips, and I'll get some rankings here. I don't have to spend as much time with these like I would if there were just a lot of like random ones. I mean, I kind of know some of the profiles of these. I think we'll find out pretty quickly, but man, I'll tell you, I'm hoping to God I don't know why I'm hoping that this is the Green River. I don't know why. If it is, it's pretty darn incredible. Actually, you know what I could probably do if you guys want as a third one, as a third giveaway tonight, we'll do this if this helps for anybody. I'll also do a I'll send out 1 ounce samples of this flight tonight as well. So I'll give you guys a chance to try a few different things that we've done. So I'll say this, if you're not part of the club, I'd say join. Like I feel like we're the best club out there. I think we bring the biggest or most variety of things that's there. I think it's a great community. I'm biased, of course, but I mean, I love everything that it is that we do, the people that are part of all this. And I think a lot of the guys and ladies that are in here tonight can maybe vouch for that. I hope so. I hope that my impression is the same that you guys have, but I feel like we try to bring as much great yet different whiskeys, different brands to the club that you guys and ladies really, really enjoy. So all right, let me go back through and I'll rank these then. Man. Good. All right. All right, what do you got, Dano? By far the best Patreon of the 5. All right, good. I appreciate that. You don't have to name any names, of course. I'm not asking anybody to do that, but you know, I think we try extremely, extremely hard with all of this to get the most variety of things, you know, because I think it's coming from a position of passion. Like we want to drink everything that we're selecting for all of you. So, you know, it starts there that if we don't like it, I feel that either other people aren't going to maybe necessarily enjoy it. If we really do and we land on something that is maybe different or unique or just great, it doesn't have to be different or unique. Just it can be incredible. And that's what we kind of strive for. On top of delivering different things as much as possible. So each time we do a release, there's something different. We've got some pretty awesome things coming down the pipeline here pretty quickly. So a lot of great things going on. So, all right, Johnny, you're in it again. Let me add you on there again. So, and then I'll start going through my rankings here. All right. All right, what do you got, Mr. Lay? M&J is hands down the best group of whiskey tubes. It is. All right, I appreciate that. I mean, honestly, I wasn't looking for any of this. I just want you guys to, and ladies to just understand our kind of passion and drive for all of this. And we couldn't do all of what we do without any of you. You know, like I've always said, with any reviews, if no one's watching, we're just talking to a camera like a crazy person. Same thing with doing the barrel picks is we could easily do these on our own, but that's not the point. The point is to get people involved and participate and be as much of a community as possible. So that's what we really kind of strive for. So, all right, Jeffrey, what do you got? Agreed. I keep my epic drummers. Good. He appreciates that. Loving us so far and continue to be impressed by the group's knowledge and generosity. I think you're going to see a lot of that just overall. Like if we're unable to somehow do something, there's usually another great person to follow it up and either help with something or share something, whatever it may be. So you and Jason have been the frontrunners of the craft movement. Hopefully these distillery members, M&J, you know, and we're rewarded, I'll say, with them, Dano. Like that's part of the deal is that we've gotten in pretty early with a lot of groups, you know, to the point of, you know, driftless. Like it's in my state, but again, we got in pretty early. We get a nice selection of things from that standpoint. But again, the more time and effort you put in and cooperation you have both ways, that's how you continue to get great barrels. I'll say this, we've got in 2 weeks, we're doing our newest Corbin cash pick, which is going to be a 9-year rye. And, you know, we're excited to be doing that. We'll be on with David Souza live doing that. So again, just another one. I think we were early on with the Corbin cash picks or pick, I should say. and hopefully introduce that to a lot of people who have appreciated that other great whiskeys can come from other places besides Kentucky, MGP, things along those lines. So, thanks, Katie. I appreciate it. Yeah, and again, to Katie's point, I mean, this is part of it. Like, had we not been part of all of this, we wouldn't be fortunate enough to have met, Ethan and Katie and have friendships and all of these things. And honestly, that's the best part of all of this. Whiskey is the common denominator, but everything else that we do, it's just a big group of kind of friends is really what it is. So I don't want to get like too sappy or anything, but it's kind of a special thing. So see, this is one thing I love about Jay is that he is loyal. He's here all the time. He watches all these things. He participates. He does all these things, and I'll say we appreciate him for what it is that he brings to the community. You guys all see these things, and it's the fun part of this. So again, I understand the whole train wreck or why people would want to watch hockey for the fighting or car racing for the wrecks or whatever it may be. So and Jay is honest. So he is here for the crazy. So all right, I kind of sidetracked there. So all right, let's see. Ranking wise, so I'm gonna say I think this is the Green River. Man, it's good. It's really, really good. Like, I just want to drink that. Like, I think it's maybe my number one. Definitely the soloist. 100% sure about that. Very, very good. It's just an incredible, incredible pour. You get that different profile, if that's what it is, that pot still distillation is kind of coming through. So you get that slightly different or unique kind of flavor profile, but great texture to it. Yeah, I've got Art of the Spears. I think that's the double oak. I think. So far, this might honestly be my ranking so far. How I'm kind of sipping through these. I can maybe now let's see here. Man, somewhere in here the ghost barrel's throwing me off. This I could maybe flip flop these two. I think this fourth one I've got that as the ghost barrel. I think that's what that is. Man. Mr. Henson, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Boy, man, I'm thinking I might flip flop these two. That'd be the only way I would go. I think this is the natural barrel because I know again, for those of us who've had a lot of or some of the Bookers, with that, you get a little bit of that nuttiness that's there. So, and Paul, the soloist for me is just flavors like forever. It's just like all over the place. Oh, that thing falls apart for you on the finish, man. Maybe just because you're drunk. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to go back. I'll have to pay more attention. But all right, let me see what this one is. Yeah, that feels and tastes a little bit similar to the Nashville Barrel. And again, like ranking these things, it's hard because obviously we've loved them all on our own. I get to the truncheon. uh, I love this is probably when the whiskey's kicking in, all the different analogies. So the trunk, all right, the trunk tree. I feel like we got to come up with a sticker. All right, I'm gonna write this down. I don't know if Jason's watching, but let's see. We got trunk tree and everybody else, the other I feel bad. We're the trunk tree, everyone else is the tree. Actually, you know what we can do? We're gonna be down in Johnny. We're gonna be down in at MGP and at Luxro in I'll say probably maybe a month from now, about a month. And there's going to be a lot of us that are going to be there. So if we do a universal, I even feel bad. I don't know how we can do like set ourselves up as the trunk tree. It feels like braggy a little bit, but I don't know. I'll talk to Jason a little bit about that. I mean, I'll say we're the representation. Maybe the trunk tree can be everybody assisting on the pick. If we take the lead, I guess we can consider ourselves the trunk. The trunk is the branches. All right, I don't know. I'll figure everyone else's branches. All right. I'll put that. That's a pretty good. I've never heard that analogy, but I might steal it a few times. It's a family tree. Yes, it is a family tree. Let's go with that. I like that. It's a family tree. I really like that. Family tree. All right. I'm gonna keep that one too. So all right. I think this is the order. I think the only thing I would maybe flip flop. Boy, this is actually tough. The more I'm thinking about this. Shoot. The soloist is just incredible. I mean, it's just one of those bottles that it's so much different. And again, different can be extremely good. It just has such a different profile. And I think I might just leave the order. Maybe I'll flip flop these two right here. So just to make this thing easy, let's just go in this order. But knowing that I can maybe flip flop 3 and 4, I'll keep 5 where it is. These two you guys know. Let me ask you this before I reveal what these are. Take a guess. Let me know what you think. I'll say let's go 5 through 1. What do you think? 5, 4. It doesn't matter. I guess 1 through 5. Let me know in the comments what you think each one of these are, just based on either description or if you're familiar with what each one of these tastes like, or my description of them. I know it's hard because you may not have tried every single one of these, but let me know. All right, Dano, you can do all of them at one time. You don't have to do them individually, but what do you got? I'm bet at Lux. Oh, I'll be at Luxo in 2 weeks. Yeah, we won't be there. It won't be in 2 weeks. I think we're there the starting the Sunday following 4th of July. So, you know, Paul, I think you're right. I think that's the order. And again, I would probably flip flop working off of Paul right here. I think the only one that I would potentially flip flop is Art of the Spirits and Ghost. I'd probably put Ghost in 3rd, Art of the Spirits 4th, NBC 5th. And again, it's really hard. Again, this is going based off of the profiles that I love and really enjoy, and or just trying them amongst these. And I need to do more of these. So I don't know. Maybe you guys are cool with it. Maybe I'll do more of of these, because I think it's fun to do some of these blinds. And I know not everyone's part of the club. I wish you were, but if you're if you haven't had all of these, this gives me a nice opportunity to kind of share my thoughts on some of these. So all right, Dana, what do you got here? So 5 NBC, 4 Ghost, 4 Ghost, 3 Art, 2 Solace. I think that's the order. Like, I think just tasting through them, I think that's what it's going to be. I don't know. If my wife is watching, I probably need the key back at this point, because I don't have it. So if you're done stealing the key, I'm going to need that back soon. So yes. So I'll be in Columbus when you're there doing your picks. May try to meet up. Yeah, definitely. Let us know. We're going to be, I believe, let me think here. I think we're at Middle West and High Bank on Friday. I think we're kind of splitting up. I think we'll be at High Bank later on. Thank you, ma'am. So I think we'll be, yeah. So if you're there, man, let us know. Definitely let us know. So all right. You want me to my rank of preference? Well, I think 1 for me is, I don't want to say an outlier. It's just a profile that I really, really love. So I hope I haven't like butchered this thing. Whatever they are, I think this is the order of how I would probably sip on them. Again, here's what I'll say. I think 2, 3, and 4, I could maybe flip flop. Again, for me, admittedly, Booker's isn't always my favorite thing. So it's probably just by default, profile wise, gonna stay in the 5th spot if that's what it is. Man, number 1, I could sip on like all day long. 2, if it's soloist, I think that is something that is going to be just kind of like very, very different, So anyway, let's just go in this order, and we'll do it that way. So I'll reveal the 5th place one first. Let's see what we've got. I hope I haven't like butchered this thing. I think I've got them. I went, so just to be on the record, I went glass 1, Green River, glass 2, Soloist, 3, Art of the Spirits, 4, Ghost Barrel, 5, NBC. So, let's see. This is the nerve-wracking part. So, all right. Wow. Wow. All right. Little bit of an upset here tonight. So, man, interesting. All right. All right, so let's go. In 5th place, it was the Nashville Barrel Company. So I did get that one correct. These 2 here are where I could kind of like flip-flop back and forth. In 4th or 3rd, however you want to call it, man, it's the Green River. That's ridiculous. I mean, it is as good as that is. Man, just still incredible. And again, I'll even say 2, 3, and 4 were ones that I felt could be interchangeable on any given night. So, but 4th was the Green River, which is a shock to me. I thought for sure I had this thing nailed down. So, man. So anyway, 4th was the Green River. Let's see, what do I have? Man, this is all right. It's really, I kind of goofed up the middle part of this. So 5 was NBC. Glass 4 was the Green River. My God, that's crazy. Glass 3 was the Peerless, so I flip-flopped this. Man, I really messed this part up. I had the Ghost Barrel as 4. This crazy. Number 2, this one I got. So that was the Fiddler. So I had that as the Soloist. So I got that one right. Which means number 1 out of the blind tonight. This is crazy. Art of the Spirits, the Double Oak. That thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Wow. I had Art of the Spirits as 3rd. And that ended up being the Peerless. Yeah, so I got 2 out of the 5. That's all I got. Art of the Spirits for the win. Just and I'll say this. I mean, again, this is the thing. I was just getting way more. And I don't know if this thing has opened up or what it's done, but there was so much cherry and fruit on this thing that it is an absolute monster of a whiskey. It wasn't what I remembered it being. Like, it tasted like what I thought the Green River was going to be. And we could have flip-flopped 2, 3, and 4 on any given night. You know, so 2, 3, and 4, honestly, you could call those 2 A, B, and C. You know, the NBC is one of those things with that slight kind of nuttiness that you have to be a little bit careful, that I'm cognizant of. But when it's up against these and these kind of flavor bombs, you know, that's where it kind of stood out for me on that. But yeah, I mean, the Art of the Spirits for me all night long was just, it stood out. Like it just stood out in a very, very good way. Man, I'll probably, like, once we're done and later on, like through the Patreon live, I might like kind of sip on some of these just to see like what it is that changes. But yeah, so I mean, I would say ultimately I would have flip-flopped. What do we got? 3. I would have flip-flopped the Ghost Barrel and Green River. So essentially this is what Forgate was the Peerless. Yeah, so that essentially this is probably what I would have had. I would have had. So all right, so here's the final tally. So number 1 ended up being the Art of the Spirits. Number 2 ended up being the Fiddler, the Soloist. Number 3 ended up being the Green River. Number 4 ended up being the Peerless, the Ghost Barrel. And number 5 ended up being the NBC. So, man, I'm surprised. Like, this is where I'll say, like, do not sleep on what it is that Richard and his people are doing over at Art of the Spirits. They are doing some pretty darn amazing things. But anyway, on tonight, this is how the blind kind of stacked up. So I appreciate everybody joining tonight. So let's do this. Let's do the old giveaway, and we'll give away some Green River. And you guys, I mean, hey, you're going to be happier than pigs and you know what with the Green River. It is an incredible bottle. I'm going to probably pour a little bit of this just to kind of see what I've got a little bit more of. Like I feel, again, like 2, 3, and 4, man, on any given night, you could have any of those in the 2 spot. So like it is very, very close. It just, for me, the Art of the Spirits really stood out. And again, those double oaks, as much as I thought that was the Green River, I don't know, I don't want to say I'm happy, but I'm a little bit shocked that ended up being that. So Johnny, so the only reason about the NBC is because it stood out. It had that nuttiness that's there. And as much as I enjoy that, I don't enjoy it as much as the profiles of some of the others. Now, admittedly, I could maybe flip flop, the soloist. I don't always want that different one. So I guess what I would say is I would still probably keep Art of the Spirits as number one, but man, 2, 3, and 4, they could be 2A, B, and C at any given time. Like for me, I have to go to that beam profile when it's something that I know what it is. So it's just not that it's like off-putting or anything like that. It's just I understand what that is. And it's just I don't want it more than what these other profiles were. So that's the only reason that it ended up being in the fifth spot. So there we have it. So all right, let's do this. Let me share the screen. We'll do this. So the first one is going to get the 200 ml of the Green River, the Jorge T swag. That will be the first one. So let's go ahead and give that one away first. Second will be, and again, whoever wins it, if you want either the half of this 100 ml of that, if you'd rather have the Jorge T swag, just let me know of what it is you want between that or the 1 ounce sample of tonight's flight. So it doesn't matter to me, whatever you guys want. But number one, we'll be giving away the 200 ml of the Jorge T swag. So let me pull it up. I will share my screen. Let me do this real quick. Well, that's not what I wanted. Why is that not letting me do that? There we go. Okay. All right, let's share that. So, all right, so here we got. We've got everyone's name in there. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, so you guys can all see that. I'll give a couple more minutes. What time is it right now? It is almost 8:25. I'll give you guys another 2 or 3 minutes. If anybody wants to be in the drawing for tonight's giveaway, basically it's going to be 3. It's going to be one of the 200 ml, another basically of these, but a 100 ml, basically half of that. And the other will be tonight's blind flight. So if anybody who wants to be in there, I'll give you another 2 minutes to enter before we dive into that. So I've got all the names, as you guys can see. I've got everybody in there. I wish there was a way I could shuffle this, but I don't see. Got to add the sound. I guess that really doesn't matter. I mean, it's still all random. Everyone's names are just, in a particular line. So, but let's see. I don't see another way to do that. All right, we'll give it another couple seconds. No, it's not gonna crash. It won't crash the internet. So we'll let that thing go at this point. So, oh, geez, look at it. All the late people. Now I got to add some more names. All right, Lance, you've been lurking, it looks like. So let me add you. Let me add you in here. And I appreciate everybody for hanging out tonight. It's this was fun. I don't get a chance to do a lot of blinds, but when I do, they're fun to do. So, all right, Sven, let's put you in there. All right, we'll go ahead and close it now. We'll leave it at that. So I think that's fair. The shuffle is on the other wheel website. You know what? Let me do this real quick. Let me take the names. I'm going to copy and paste and see if I can add these to the shuffle. Let me add all these. Before I do this, does that let me? No, that's not the one I wanted. I feel like I've done this one before. No. I don't know if you guys care or not, but I'd like to be able to do it. I'd like to be able to shuffle this thing. There we go. All right, let me get rid of all of this. Let me delete this and add everybody else that was in here. Perfect. All right, I think I can shuffle. There we go. All right, let me do this. Let me unshare that one. Let me get to the other one. All right, let's do this. So let me get to. No, we'll get it. We're about ready to figure this out. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. We're in it. So first up, let's shuffle this thing while you guys can see it. I'll click it 1, 2, 3 times. We've got all the names shuffled. We got everybody in there. Let's go ahead and spin this, and we'll see who the winner of the first 200 ml is. Our Green River Jorge T swag. All right, good luck. Who we got? Johnny Boy, top dog. All right, let's remove you from there. So, all right, so top dog, we got you in there. So top dog, 200 ml. All right, so we got that. So let's remove you from this one. Let's spin it again. So this will be for whoever's in the chat at this point. We're gonna leave it up to you. We'll do either the 100 ml of the Jorge T swag or the 5 1-ounce samples of tonight's blind flight. This is your option. You can let me know. So let me shuffle it up 3 more times. Spin away. Good luck, everyone. Mr. Terrence Walker. All right, so T-Dog, let me know. All right, let's see. We'll do, let me go back to the, let's see. So I don't know if Terrence is in here. And again, if he's not, then we'll just go on to the next one. All right, let's do this. We'll remove Terrence from this one. And if he's not in here, we'll give the next. All right, here we go. Awesome. I never win. All right, so all right, Terrence, let me know what you want. And then that will be the deciding factor for the final spin. So while we're waiting, let's shuffle it up again. 2, 3. We'll spin again. And this will be the pick for whomever does not, or whomever. All right, Johnny. We gotta let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's if you're okay with it, I'm gonna remove the name. We'll spin it again. Let me go back to the StreamYard. All right, John, are you okay with me? Are you okay with me spinning this thing again to get a different winner? I'd like to try to share as much as I possibly can, but it's up to you. Let me know if you want to be. I'm okay. All right, cool. All right, appreciate that. So I'd like to try to spread the wealth amongst everybody. So let me get back to this. Let's shuffle it one more time. Did Terrence ever say what he wanted? I never win. So, all right. Doesn't matter. But let's do this. All right. Spin again. All right. So here's where we're at. So final person to win. Oh boy, Paulie P. All right, you're gonna get a flight of, or you're gonna get whatever it is that Terrence does want. So let me put you down. So I'm just waiting to hear from. I'd buy John a drink right now if I could. So all right, let me see what. Let me stop sharing this. There we go. All right. All right, Terrence, I didn't hear what you wanted. So you have the choice of either the 1 ounce samples of tonight's flight or the 100 ml of the Jorge T swag. So let me know. That will decide on what it is that I then send to Paul. And again, I don't know if it matters to you, Paul, or not. We can hash this out at that point. So doesn't matter. But what does matter is I appreciate you guys all hanging out tonight for an hour and a half with me. I greatly appreciate it. Kind of going through some of these things. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what it is we're doing here at the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. We try to do as many great things as we possibly can. So I've kind of run a little bit over. We'll get over onto a Patreon live here in about 5 or 10 minutes and give you guys a bunch of updates on what's coming, new things coming, what's maybe dropping soon, what's maybe not, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm easy. Third place easy. I'll wait till Paulie. I'll wait to hear from Terrence, and whatever that is, you and I can chat. We'll figure that out. So, but yeah, in the next probably, let's say 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be hopping on and doing a Patreon live. I'll send out a link here in Patreon in a minute for everybody to access. So if you're part of the group, stop by, check everything out, see what we've got going on, new updates, all kinds of good things. If you're not part of the club, man, get in there. I'd love to have you guys in there. I mean, I see so many familiar faces, and I'd love to see you guys more. So with that being said, next week I'm hoping to finally have the guys on from Still Austin, and we'll get the head distiller, Christian, all these things. And then the following week, we're going to be doing our Corbin Cash pick live with David Souza, the owner, distiller, everything at Corbin Cash. So, and then that Wednesday, I'll be heading to Columbus, Ohio to hang out with Jason, Kim, bunch of other great people. So it'll be a really fun few days there. So it should be a good time. So a lot of stuff going on. As you can see, a lot of variety here within the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys and ladies for being a part of it. Putting up with all of us, just everything. I can't say thank you enough for really everything that it is that you support me with on the channel and the M&J Army, all of that stuff. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another My Bourbon Journey Tuesday night live stream. Appreciate you guys joining as always. So congratulations to each and every winner. If you guys can send me an email just so I have all your information. Actually, I know I've got it all written down. I know all of you guys. So just let me know what it is that you want. All right. So Terrence says I'm here. I'll do the 1 ounce samples. All right. I'll send you the 1 ounce samples. Terrence, if you can, shoot me an email at mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com, just so I've got your information and I can coordinate everything with you to get you those. Paulie, I'll get you the other 100 mLs of our Green River pick. So I think we've got it all set up. So Everybody, thank you guys. As always, appreciate all the support, love, everything that you guys kind of provide. I greatly appreciate it. So good to see so many familiar faces in here each and every week. So with that being said, thank you guys again, and we will see you next Tuesday. And like I say, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers, guys. Have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your week. We will see you next week. Cheers, guys.